Hello everyone and welcome back to another album review, and in this video I'm going to review Spiritual Instinct by Alcest. Out of this new subgenre and combination of genres called Blackgaze, Alcest is definitely one of the most important and one of the better bands in this whole subgenre. Blackgaze is one of those genres that some people in the black metal community don't really approve it or accept it, mainly because it goes into a softer route. Usually the production is clean, it focuses less on some raw and nasty blast beats, and in general is a sound that has more of a dark beauty to it and a dark, nice atmosphere. Alcest is one of those bands in the genre that have managed to blow up, and actually one of the few ones that have given it a good name. And now I myself am not the hugest fan of the projects of Alcest. I think they're okay though. I think they have some pretty solid works, and in general they have a quite solid and consistent discography so far, which is something that people were worried was not going to be the case with Spiritual Instinct, mainly because this album was going to be their debut on Nuclear Blast Records. And yeah, Nuclear Blast Records is an overrated label. Lots of the stuff this label puts out is usually crap, but this is not the case with this new album from Alcest. Instead, this is a really nice continuation to what they have built up to up until this point. Instead, the first teaser track out of this thing, Protection, is actually one of my favorite works from any Alcest project. I love this track. I think it's one of the better works they've done. I love the atmosphere to this song, I love the riffs, I love this whole progression, the direction it takes. It's such a beautiful and in sometimes quite intense track. I like the vocals, I like the clear production to this thing. There are lots of things to like about Protection. And in my opinion, Sapphire might not be one of my favorite moments, but it was still another solid moment to the album. And in general, this album has what you would expect from an Alcest album. It has this really beautiful atmosphere, there is a nice dark beauty to this album, and instead of going to something more commercial, this one is actually heavier than some of their later stuff. This one feels like it actually goes closer to some of their older stuff, with tracks like the first one which have some moments that sound like a really heavy and intense atmospheric black metal track with some pretty intense blast beats and some really muddy riffs and some great vocals as well. One of those moments I liked a lot about this album was with the 4th track, Des Morts, which had a kind of a weird introduction. It put me off at first. I was like, am I listening to the same album? Because the first seconds has this bassy distorted synths, but it's just for a couple of seconds and we get a great riff on top of it. It's the longest track on the album, going for 9 minutes, and it progresses really well. Des Morts is definitely the best moment structurally on this album. I like how it progresses, it goes into lots of different phases, and each one of them just works really well, and some really tight and really well executed riffs are on this album. The only moment of this album I didn't really like was the 5th track, Le Miroir, which was a track that felt like it was making a constant build up only for it to build up for absolutely nothing. Structurally and musically, this is the weakest moment in the album for me, and the pacing is really off. The album itself is not the most impressive, it's not the most mind-blowing thing ever. It's a standard sound for Alcest, but once again it works pretty well. The whole speculation of this album to suck just because it was released on Nuclear Blast Records is something that is not the case. Spiritual Instinct is another solid addition to the discography of Alcest. I myself am not hugely impressed or just mind blown by it. I think there are some good moments here and there. Protection is easily one of my favorite Alcest tracks, but other than that, this is just a solid album and, like I said, a good addition to their discography, and in general it's a good Blackgaze album with really good atmosphere, some great riffs, some nice structures, and some beautiful production and vocal deliveries. If this is the type of thing you're looking for, this is a really good album. I'm going to give Spiritual Instinct a 7- out of 10. What's your opinion on this album? Like it, dislike it, why, and what do you want me to review next time? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.